Hello, and thank you for joining me here today. My name is Leslie Burton. I'm a holistic coach, energy healer, and a lifelong explorer of soul wisdom, I suppose we could say. I absolutely love to help people find clarity, to get courage, and a deeper alignment with themselves and their lives. If I can do that at all, it really is great, and I love to do that. My journey has taken me from um, businesses to business coaching and then on to energy healing. And I now blend all those different things into my practice. But I don't want to talk about that today. I don't want to talk about what I do. What I want to do is I want to share a bit of a personal story so that you can really see how what you're doing at the moment is so helpful to you. Um, so I will start with I left school at 16, as we do, went to college, and I went into the hospitality trade. So I worked many years in the UK, just every time I wanted to have a leg up or I got fed up with somewhere, I moved on to somewhere else. Took very little time off because of um, difficulties, shall we say, in the workplace and quite a male orientated space that I was working in as a hotel manager. Shall we say, I came across a few personal problems along the way. I will leave that to your imagination. But also lots of other things that had happened to me over my lifetime from sort of childhood onwards. I wouldn't say I have massively big T traumas, but lots and lots of little T traumas, with a couple of larger ones thrown in, shall we say. So I decided that it would be great to start my own business. And my thought was I would have a tea shop. So I literally built it from the ground up. It became a very successful business. Um, and I decided in 2023, after a couple of years after sort of lockdown and all the issues that gave out, that I had like it was time for me to move on. But what I did was I started business coaching because I found out that actually I'd learned quite a lot about running your own business along the way. So I started business coaching again. I was reasonably successful. I worked with the local university, who were sending me people to work through a program with them, and I had a great time. And then, as quite often happens, a member of my close family was taken quite seriously ill, and I found myself having to travel backwards and forwards to the hospital to support her, as she had no children of her own, and she was a carer for another lady, in fact. So I found myself sort of doing other things and having to take a step back from my business. And it was at that stage that just everything started to fall apart, I suppose. I found that it was very difficult for me to concentrate on my business. Everything became very fuzzy, wuzzy, and I had no idea what I was doing. And as I stepped back and slowed down, all of a sudden, like the past, say, 35 years or so of just being on it, on it, on it, on it, rush, 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 one thing to another, never having time to dwell on who I was, where I was, and what I was doing, sort of impacted me. And I had no idea what had happened. All I knew was that couldn't, I couldn't concentrate on getting new people into the business, and my business pretty much fell apart, basically. Um, it feels quite raw telling you this, so just wow, wasn't expecting that one, sorry. Um, I've asked to get today to just tell you what you need to hear. So this is why this is coming out. So I had no idea where I was, what I was doing. And it was in my sort of scramble to sort myself out that I came across several things. The first thing I think was EFT tapping. Um, and that led on to many other things that I had no idea about before. I had no idea what that I was a healer, which slowly came out of me. I became an EFT practitioner, a Reiki master, as I am now. And then that all led on very strangely to the Akashic Records and Arcturian dragons, in fact. And it was through the Akashic Records that I really truly learned who I was. And let me tell you, I am still learning. 4 or 5 years on, I am still learning exactly who I am. So you might think that that timeline wasn't quite right. It's just my business down in bits and pieces, but all this started, it was intermingled. It wasn't quite as straightforward a path as I've made it sound. So it was quite intermingled that things started to become open up to me and different things went through. But as I started with the Akashic Records, I actually started to realize just who I actually was, the traumas that I needed to release, which had been coming up over the period of time again. And it led me to, I suppose, reflect on who I am, my gifts. And over the past sort of couple of years, 18 months, shall we say, what has opened up for me is the seeing, the hearing, the knowing, the leaning into my intuition really, really loads, and the difference that it makes. So, more and more that I lean into my intuition and actually pay attention to it. And let's face it, I've had a lifetime of living in my head and listening and dismissing what my heart is telling me, not sort of listening to what was going on around me, just dismissing it all because, like, from a very early age, I've been told that's nonsense. No, you can't see that. No, that's ridiculous. That's not here. Why are you what? Why do you want to do that? What? Because you think you do? Well, what's that got to do with anything? So if any of this sounds familiar to you, I know where you are and what you're doing. Um, Many of us, particularly as we come to a certain age, in astrology, we would call it our Saturn return, want to know exactly what our life path is. So if you are going, what is my life path? What am I here for? Where am I? I know where you are. I know exactly what you're feeling at the moment. And it's only by slowing down, stopping, and reflecting. You do not suddenly get this, whoa, this is my path. It comes to you slowly over a period of time, and only once you start your healing process. Okay, so I want to say to you, so I'm here in the Reflect and Realign Day. It is so important to one, reflect on your journey, because your journey is not just, it's not because it's not, don't think that you've just suddenly taken lots of wrong turns. That is not how it works. Your journey is to show you things. So each step on your journey, each difficulty, each loving thing that has happened to you has happened for a reason. The great thing is, at this stage, now you are starting to look back and wonder. you can look back and say, why did this happen? What did I learn from it? And every single thing in your life is a learning point. You may not know at the moment what that learning is. You may just be feeling angry, misaligned, regretful, and you shouldn't, because everything has happened for a reason. There is a learning. It is your path to get you here. You may not understand what I'm saying to you at the moment, but at some point, these words will mean something to you. There is a reason you are listening to me now. And I just want to say to you, it gets easier. You're never completely fixed. I wish I knew that when I started my journey. You never are completely. There is not a, this is me now. In the future, everything will be absolutely fantastic. There are still things to work through. The great thing is, as the deeper layers come up and you start to heal them, everything becomes so much better. As you can drop down into your heart space daily and just go, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for everything. The more you will be able to hear, the more you will be able to listen to your intuition, the more you will get guidance for what is your next step? What is the thing that you want to be concentrating on now? What is your next job offer? Where is your next job offer? And the more you listen, the more you will be shown the way forward. Okay? I really want the best for you. And the more you work on yourself, that is the way to not only help yourself, but it helps the whole world. It helps the whole world. The more you love yourself, the more you work on there, the more you drop into your heart and love that being that is you, the more that emanates out to the world in general. And that helps the whole world heal. So when people say, I want to help the world heal, you can all do that just by healing yourself. And isn't that fantastic? That is just knowing that is the best thing ever. Okay, so I just want to say to you a little bit about, so what, because you're probably thinking, what is this thing she's talking about? So I work with lots of several modalities, I should say. There are lots of modalities that you can work for. You will know what is best for you. What do? I work quite a lot, shall we say, with the Akashic Records, and I journey in the Akashic Records. One of my favourite things to do is to work with dragon energy. I work particularly with Arcturian dragons that I've been introduced to. I have 12 particular ones. So what are the Akashic Records, though, that I keep talking about? Because if you don't know what they are, it's really interesting. It's like going into a great big library. And that is what most people see when they enter their Akashic Records. A massive library, it's filled with books, scrolls, and these all hold the story of your soul. So it is your soul, all your past lifetimes, all the memories, the deeds, the future possibilities even are held in this vast library that is called the Akashic Records. It's an energetic space, and in it you can access deep wisdom. You can understand the repeating patterns that come up for you time and time again, so that you can get rid of those, push those to one side, like I'm done with those. You can receive loving guidance and you can receive healing. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I find clients often tell me that just one session, if it is the right thing for you, can shift all sorts of problems. Dragon energy then is dragon energy. Dragons are beautiful, ancient, wise beings. They talk about courage, transformation, and gentle strength. And in my work, they're very compassionate guides. They love to help people. I introduce you to different dragons, and once you have that connection, you always have that connection. And I do that within the Akashic Records now. These things have everything evolves. Everything evolves. Um, What else do I want to tell you now? I have a free, if you are feeling that this is right for you, if you have connected with me on a soul level and you would like to see some more of what I do, I have offered a free gift in here, which is a galactic journey. It's a galactic journey. I do a journey into the Akashic Records and introduce you to an Arcturian dragon. And I work with a colleague as well. We do monthly meetings, and this particular one was recorded back for the 8/8 Lions Gate. So it holds all those beautiful energies in there. And my colleague Patrice calls in light language and takes you through messages from the galactic dragons as well. So I would love for you to just connect with that, connect with me if that feels right for you. And basically, I just want to say love and light on your journey. Thank you for joining me. And I hope that this summit gives you everything that you have called in for it. Set your intentions and have a beautiful journey. Thank you for joining me. And goodbye for now.